Hello, everybody. Muse Medicina here. I was asked by a patient to do a video on when infants get a lot of mucus, a lot of mucus, like scary. And I've seen a few infants that have had this problem. FYI, my son is mobile and he's out, so I might have to run away at any moment, but I'll come back. So I just want to make this quick. Whenever I see excess mucus in anyone, whether it's a baby or not, the first things I do are completely dietary. And that means no phlegm foods, as in foods that would create phlegm. The main culprits I see in the standard American diet for phlegm foods are bread, dairy, greasy foods, fried foods, milk, anything that looks like when you chew it up, looks like what you would pop out of a zit, or mucus, looks like mucus, okay? So pastas, processed foods, and sugars, huge culprits. So in the case of a baby, one, I would wonder, are you breastfeeding, or are you not breastfeeding? This is kind of contentious because of the fed is best versus breast is best. I wouldn't necessarily call it breast is best, but breast has a lot of different things, or the breast is easily assimilated because it's natural, whereas the processed formula isn't. So like my mom said, my grandma used to say that only the kids who were formula fed got colico, or like stuck, mijo, he's real brave, get stuck tripas, stuck bellies. So that's a hard one if you're being formula fed. So the first thing I would say is formula fed babies, one, make sure that they're getting the best formula possible, or the most organic, or rather the least processed. The more processed a food is, the more hydrogenated kind of stuff it has. Look at you, good job. He just climbed on the couch. The more hydrogenated, get in this, let me have it. Thank you. Okay, babies put lots of stuff in their mouth. The more kind of unnatural stuff it has, the more ability it would have to create mucus or phlegm, because the body cannot process it. So I would, more than get different formula though, the first thing I would do is check a breast milk bank so that you can get your child breast milk, which even if it's not from them, it would be better than formula. And when I say better than formula, I mean your body, it has more availability to process it. And even better than that, if you got a homie who's down to actually breastfeed your child, their milk will create antibodies for your child. Now, if you're breastfeeding and you are consuming a lot of bread, a lot of dairy, a lot of processed foods, a lot of pasta, a lot of sugars, sugar is a big one. Sugar can also cause a lot of inflammation, aka heat in the body. So sugar, cut it out. And bread. I don't do extra sugar or bread. I use, if I do sweeteners, I'll use honey. And Majito doesn't have a lot of mucus at all. So that is, dietary is the biggest one there. The problem could be cold, if they're being exposed to a lot of cold as well. And there's others. Goat milk. My great grandmother Felicita, she survived on goat milk, so that's why I say I'm part cabrona. Because that the goat milk, of what I've read and from my oral tradition, is the closest to human milk available. So that's also an option. Making sure they're getting some water. I know some people are fervently against water with their babies, especially if they're breastfed. I started giving my son water about 3 months or so. And he loved it right away. And part of the reason I did that is because I don't get enough water in general. I have a tendency to forget to drink water. It's my bad. I want to stay hydrated. I go in bouts. But my son to this day loves water. He loves water. So we do that. getting into the shower with baby and making the water hot enough, or even boiling over and trying, of course you don't want to burn them, but like wafting aromatic herbs in their way. So spearmint is a good one, though spearmint is cold. Canela or cinnamon is a good one because canela is warm in the winter time. So when we're doing hierbas, and I didn't learn this western wise, like what I learned from my abuelita, there's certain herbs for certain things, but what I and it does coincide with warm and cold if you look for the seasons. But what I learned in Chinese medicine school is everything has a temperature. All herbs have a temperature, and you only administer herbs in accordance to temperature. So, for instance, you don't want to give a bunch of cooling herbs in the wintertime. There are complexities that would negate that at times. Like recently I was treating strep throat, and there's an herb in the formula for strep throat that's actually toxic or super duper hot, and they use that like a bait herb, like, yo, come get me, I'm hot like you, but then it kills it with a bunch of cold herbs, right? Antibiotics are very, very cold. So this particular baby has gone to the antibiotics and gotten antibiotics, and is still the same. So I've seen this a lot. If I've ever been prescribed antibiotics once I was an adult, they also generally, and let me know if this has happened to you, also prescribe diflucan, is that what it's called? It's like an anti-yeast infection medicine. So if you look at boogers in your nose, or like damp conditions on your face, or hot conditions like strep throat is hot and toxic, that cold antibiotics are like super duper cold. They're super powerful medicina. And if you take it, it like kills all the natural bacteria that would kill off other things, and it's so cold, so it creates phlegm, aka yeast. So in Chinese medicine, we would look at many of these things the same or similarly. And so if your kid, for an infection, or for even if you go just for nose stuffing, they might just give you antibiotics because, quite frankly, that they don't have a lot other tools. And these antibiotics would cause more phlegm in the body, and cause the body to create more phlegm, and cause the body to lose all of its healthy microbiotic, probiotic bacteria in the gut, so then can't fight off other little pathogens. So oftentimes when kids get a lot of antibiotics as children, you're kind of prone to being ill for the rest of your life, and you might never feel fully healed or well, because these really, really, really strong medicines take out all of your natural ability to come up with your own immunology. So if that's the case, if the baby has had a lot of antibiotic use, you want to reintroduce probiotics. You can look up online or go to Vitamin Cottage. I can't tell you right offhand, and that's not my area of expertise, but I know Indigimama knows. You can go online to like Vitamin Cottage, or go to Vitamin Cottage, and they will show you like baby probiotics and human probiotics, and you can look at reviews for the best ones that help re-establish a diversified microbiome, or the many beneficial bacteria into your gut, that will then help to bring down the amount of phlegm caused because those little bacteria start to eat away at it, which is good. Okay, climbing baby. Woo! All right, let me see my other things. So, yes, another thing you could do is, if they're formula-fed babies, do a little bit of tea in their bottle. I recommend in the winter time cinnamon, just straight up cinnamon, nice and sweet, a little spicy, and diluted. So, hi, corazón. Not the same kind of tea that you would drink, or the same amount of, what am I trying to say? The strength of it, you would want to dilute it. About half or a fourth, and use your intuition, your parent intuition on that. The cool thing about herbs is they're not going to kill you, okay? The worst it could do is cause a little bit of irritation, but honestly, it'll probably be really nice. aromatic herbs, even putting a pot on the stove full of cinnamon and orange pills, and not burning that, but boiling it so that the aromas are in your house can help. Okay, so that's really good for you. And for babies and even for you with stuff in your face. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Phlegm foods, formula, your diet as a parent, if you're giving the baby a lot of bread and stuff, pasta, etc. My son's touching the thing. Mijo, come over here. If you're giving the baby a lot of that stuff, it is going to also cause phlegm. So if they're already eating food and predominantly they're eating like bread and rice and things that are phlegmy, grease, French fries, etc., fast food, processed food, gonna cause phlegm in the nose. Another good way besides steaming and having steam in your house and doing showers is face sinus massages. So you can feel in your head and on your face all over, and in your head, just like if you touch softly, there are what are called foramen, which are little holes, and those are like where the nerves and stuff come in, the openings in the sinuses. And in the head, there's like little depressions, and many of them are acupuncture points. But if you give a nice head massage, especially in the back of the head, those are to open the sensory orifices, and we would needle them or massage them, and that can really help drain some of that back. Another thing that you could do with your baby is give them a lymphatic massage. Lymph nodes are found in all of the joints of the body, the main joints, like under the arms, in the neck, like when they get swollen from being sick, in the groin. Ooh, he's being really good at falling. In the groin, in the knees, behind the knees. So you can just really like flush from the head like this after you give that good head massage, and just really create some movement to help the immune system get things out. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I have a Food Foundations course coming up this March, which is going to be a month long, talking about the history of food in America, and 5-element food, how you can eat for your organ health, and like a little bit about preparing food for you and how it affects your body. That you can go to my website to sign up for that. There are payment plans and scholarships, so if money is a thing, don't let it be a thing. Our wellness is deserved. And when you feel like you can, it would be great to reciprocate this knowledge with a little donation at Muse Medicina Cash App, PayPal, euthymia@gmail.com, and Venmo, Euthymia-Montoya. Please share this widely. There's so much that we can do for ourselves to help us stay healthy that has gone under the radar because of the medical establishment, and it is my purpose in life to restore agency and advocacy for your autonomy here and now. So many blessings. Thank you for watching. Please share widely. Ciao.